The story begins at the Existence Academy of Aichi-ko. It is a co-educational academy in which a group called Armed Girls punishes boys. Armed Girls also have a subgroup also known as the Supreme Five Swords. It consists of 5 girls named Rin, Mary, Satori, Warabi, and Tsukio. The 5 are gathered in one place to discuss the arrival of a new male student. Futo Nomura has been transferred to this academy. It was then revealed that Futo was a troublemaker who always used to get into fights. This information reached him before he arrived at the academy. The Supreme Swords are discussed in their next step to make him disciplined. Kyukuro enters and interferes in the conversation. She warns them about the mischievous Futo Nomura, whom she has previously fought. Rin decides to discipline Futo himself. Futo and Rin would being then same class. When Futo enters the class, he is blocked by the other girls. The girls tells him that this academy used to be all-females academy. After some time, males were also admitted. The boys were not kind to girls and used to harass them. When girls had enough of the boys, they chose violence and picked up swords to protect themselves. Among all girls, these 5 supreme swords emerged because of their participation in this matter. The boys finally learned the code of discipline they needed to survive in this academy after years of effort. Futo, being a mischief person, rejects following any rules and runs out, but Rin follows him. Both fight with Rin, using her sword on her, and Futo using mirrored breathing to gain the upper hand on Rin. Futo succeeds in doing so, making Rin surprised. Futo accidentally kissed Rin. Futo is then seen enjoying his male company. When he asks how to go out, his friends tell him that there is only one way out. He needs a permission slip, which is sealed by all 5 supreme swords. Futo brings a box of cake the next day to impress the girls. After distributing it among the class girls, he goes to gift it to Rin, who is resting in the dormitory. Futo goes to present the cake, which Rin accepts blushingly. Rin gives him a permission slip which he needed. Futo ran away from the dormitory when a girl walked in the room. Futo accidentally runs into Choka Baragasaki. She declares herself to be the leader of the Junior 5 Swords. Nono Muzunano, Rin's assistant, makes her entry and claims to be head of the Junior 5 Swords. Both attack Futo to punish him. Futo, who noticed that the 2 girls don't get along with each other, overpowers them easily. As in the fight, when Choka was defeated, she cried. Choka is Mary Kika's favorite, and that means he is in great trouble now. The next day, Futo gets to meet Rin, who tells him that she will keep an eye on him personally. Futo asks his friend about any one boy who has survived these 5 swords, and his friend tells him about a man who was named Empress. He was immune from punishment with these 5 swords. Futo seems to remember him. Mary and Choka come in to hold Futo accountable for defeating Choka and Nano. Also, he was held accountable for giving a kiss to Rin. Rin, who knows it was all a misunderstanding, takes Futo's side on this specific matter. Rin and Mary get into a fight because both of them want to surprise and punish Futo according to them. Futo leaves, leaving the girls behind to fight. Rin suffers a significant setback, much to everyone's surprise. Futo bumps into the Empress. Her real name is Kirukuru Amu. Futo remembers that the Empress was not a woman, so he runs towards her to get his answer. Mary sees him and stops him because his pants have fallen off, which Futo hadn't noticed. Futo immediately fixes himself. Kirukuru remembers the time he was transferred into a woman when he lost against Rin. Mary, who was infuriated at Futo, offers him a one-on-one fight. Futo agrees, and Mary gives her a tough time and gains the upper hand. Soon the tables are turned and Futo overwhelms her. He was about to use his secret tool when Rin woke up. Mary explains her side of the story, but Rin is irritated by this thought. Finally, Mary stamps on his slip. Now Rin and Mary both supervise Futo. The task was not easy for either Rin or Mary. Everyone thinks that Futo is just flirting with the duo, which is not true. Warabi Hanasaka learns about the situation and makes a plan. She then arranges a festival of blood. The participant who can complete all of the tasks set by Warabi will survive the festival. She is the eldest member of the groups, so everyone listens to her. When Futo discovers his friend crucified in the academy's grounds, he roams around the academy. Warabi tells everyone about the smuggling of stuff done by Futo's friend. She then announces the festival. Everyone is compelled to attend the festival or risk being crucified. Futo, who does not want to be in this drama, agrees to take part when Warabi bribes him for the stamp on the slip. She calls her 3 best students and orders them to fight in a sumo ring. Warabi, the musketeer, gives Mowashi sumo belts to Rin, Mary, and Futo. Nono and Choka try to rescue them, but to no avail. After some time, Futo gets in the ring and mocks the musketeers. Musketeers laugh and bring the large black beer with which the trio must contend. Soon the match will start. After a bit of struggle, Futo was able to win the first match. Warabi is not happy with Futo winning the first round, as it results in his increasing popularity. She summons Futo to the roof. The only way to the roof is through stairs, and he has to fight with all 3 musketeers on each floor to get to the roof. The three musketeers have a group of trained girls assisting them. Futo, who was not ready to give up so easily, decides to go. Although Mary and Rin try to stop him, he has already made up his mind, so both decide to help him in every way possible. Satori Tamaba also comes and offers her help to find a new route to the roof. With the help of Satori, all four reach the roof, while some girls wear masks and free Futo's friend who was crucified. On the roof, Futo challenges Warabi to a match. Warabi attacks just after listening to this. The bear knocks Futo down this time. Mary is making sure that no one of Warabi's followers makes their way to the roof. Futo gains consciousness and continues to fight. Rin and Warabi get into a fight, but Warabi attacks Rin's shoulder. Soon enough, Rin was able to overpower Warabi in a sword fight. Warabi tries to distract Rin, but Futo makes Rin and Mary stay focused. After a lot of struggle, the trio was able to defeat Warabi, and now Warabi and her army have to wear Moashi Sumo. Futo thanks everyone for their help. Futo has now become more popular among girls. This popularity annoys Rin and Mary. The girls cheer for Futo no matter what he is doing. Rin wears a new uniform, but Futo does not notice this. Rin and Mary tell him to stay in his lane. Someone has been stalking Futo. Futo, who has noticed this, does not take action and ignores it. The next morning, Rin and Mary are inspecting Futo as per routine, but find a picture that makes the two angry. The plot revolves around Satori and Futo in bed. Futo tries to make them believe in his innocence, but the girls are not in the mood to listen to any of his claims. Futo goes to Warabi, and she offers to help him. Warabi explains Satori's plan to ruin Futo's popularity and his bond with Rin and Mary. Futo leaves after listening to this in the hope that he will find a way out of it. Warabi tells him not to go in the girls' dormitory. A wise Futo fakes her defeat to enter the girls' dormitory. Rin and Mary torture Futo but stop when they notice a scar on Futo's back. Warabi brings Futo some bread. She brings Futo to Satori's room in order to find evidence of Futo's innocence. Although they were unable to find anything, they decide to check Satori's locker room. Satori finds both of them sneaking into her locker. A masked girl attacks Futo, and Futo remembers being stalked by a masked girl, which he ignored. Futo asks Satori the reason, and she calls him annoying. On the other hand, Rin and Mary drink while thinking about Futo. Satori forces Futo to have a fight in the girls' bathroom. Warabi fights with the masked girl. Satori has a difficult time overpowering Futo. Finally, Futo and Warabi were able to handle the masked girl and Satori. Satori had already thrown the data into the pool, thus making it difficult for Futo to prove his innocence. So Futo slaps her hard. Futo is angry at her because all of this made Rin cry. While all of this is happening, Tsukuyo Inaba walks in. She is also one of the Supreme Five Swords. After witnessing all of this, she tells Satori to meet her for a conversation before leaving the place. Satori says after Tsukuyo has left that if he had confronted Futo, by now he would have died. Warabi felt unconscious because the masked girl blew pins at her that contained sedatives. Some girls walk into the locker room and find a conscious Warabi. They rush over to take her to the dorm. Soon enough, a weak Futo also passed out, so he was also taken to the infirmary. Futo wakes up and finds Warabi's bed next to his. At night, Rin was unable to sleep, so she got out to look for Futo in the punishment room. Mary and Rin bump into each other when they are on their way to the punishment room where Futo is kept. Rin and Futo make their way to the cafeteria. Satori goes to meet Rina and Mary at the cafeteria and informs them about everything that has happened. Rin goes to the infirmary to see Futo. He asks for Futo's forgiveness after listening to the truth, so Futo makes her sit and removes her mask himself when Rin's eyes are closed. Rin seems upset about this, so a confused Futo asks the reason behind this mask. Rin simply tells him that she feels comfortable with the mask. Futo compliments Rin without her mask. This makes Rin happy. Futo eventually returns her mask. Futo shares a glimpse of his past. He tells her that he is an orphan and that he lived with an old man who trained him. Mary also apologized to Futo. Next day, Futo wakes up from a strange dream. In his dream, he sees his past in an area covered in red blood. This was not a good start to Futo's day. In the morning, when boys are enjoying their bath time, they see a creature that makes them scream. The boy goes to Futo to tell him about the creature. The boys asked for Futo's help. Futo thinks this is a prank as he gets dressed for his class. The empress has been missing for some time and no one knows what happened to her. Tsukuyo goes to express her concerns to the principal, and the principal immediately cancels all the classes. Futo is confused, so he decides to pay Mary a visit. Futo finds Rin on her way out and asks about Mary. As the girls leave the dorm, things have begun to go missing for no apparent reason. Warabi soon finds out that the bear club has also been missing, so she decided to go and search for it herself. Mary soon finds Rin and Futo talking, so she goes to them. She tells them that Chol's wig has also disappeared. Warabi suddenly passes them. She tells them that she is searching for the cub. Listening to all of this makes Futo think. Futo remembers that in the morning, some boys complained about a monster staring at them. The only detail they gave about the creature was its female head. Futo goes to the boys' dormitory and finds a bear cub and Choke's wig. So he brings both things back and returns them to them. On the other hand, Empress and Satori are on the roof as a fight between the two is about to start. Warabi realizes that the Empress plans to kill Satori, so she rushes to save her. Empress stabs Satori on the roof, and then the real Satori arrives. Satori's underling was later revealed to be the real Satori, and the two are sisters. Real Satori tries to attack the Empress, but to no avail as she is far more powerful. After seeing her stabbed sister, the real Satori bursts into tears. Empress, who does not feel anything, stabs the real Satori too. Warabi rushes to save Satori. She attacks the Empress, but Warabi's bear and sword fail to kill her. Downstairs, Futo and Tsukuyo meet and Futo tries to get the last stamp from her that he needs to leave the academy. Tsukuyo knocks him down as Futo approaches her. Futo was worried after witnessing this, but Tsukuyo tells him not to worry because she didn't harm her. Tsukuyo tells him that she is supervising him on the order of the headmistress. Futo suddenly realized that Tsukuyo was blind and that they had both learned swordsmanship at the same school. While on the roof, Empress sustained heavy injuries, as did the bear as well as Warabi. Seeing Warabi in that situation, her underlings try to save her, but to no avail. They were also not able to touch the Empress. Futo hears the commotion and heads to the roof. When he finally makes his way to the roof, he sees everyone unconscious. So he screams, letting out all of his frustration, but the Empress has disappeared from the roof. Rin, Mary, and their special people meet the Empress. The headmistress goes to assist Futo while Mary and Rin prepare to fight. The headmistress assured Futo that she would look after all the unconscious people and that he should go fight the Empress. Rin and Mary are no match for Empress. Tsukuyo comes to aid Rin and Mary. Her blades were cut into 2 pieces as she was able to hurt the Empress. Futo comes to help Tsukuyo, Rin, and Mary. He launches his attack at the Empress. A flashback shows Futo flirting with the Empress in the past, even though the Empress disguised herself as a boy. Futo flirted with Amu the Empress because of his feminine appearance. Soon they became good friends, but Futo left her when she asked her to hang out with her. Empress, who could not handle a rejection, attacked Futo's friend, saying he has made plans to have fun. She has harbored rage and jealousy for Futo since that day. She planned to let out that jealousy when the perfect time came. Futo, who can now remember everything, tells Empress that he hates her. Rin and Mary cheer for Futo. The Empress, who has been waiting for years, is now ready to kill Futo. Futo also prepares to launch his attack on her. At first it appeared that the Futo attack was having no effect on the Empress. Tsukuyo comes to help Futo and tells him something useful that will help Futo win. Futo is now more determined thanks to Rin and Mary's assistance throughout. This surprises the girls. Finally, Futo uses his unconventional tactic on Empress. Both fight with their maximum power and their best attacks. Futo is forced to use her special tactic, although he does not want to do it. Futo decides to go against his will when Empress tells him to leave everything and be with only her. Futo knocks her out as he succeeds in bringing her down. When everything is finished, Tsukuyo offers to teach him swordsmanship. Although Futo does not want to be her student, but Tsukuyo bribes him with her stamp. Futo is immediately expelled by the headmistress. So Futo packs his belongings and departs the next morning. While Rin and Mary attempt to persuade the headmistress to reconsider her decision, Futo goes to the airport with the permission slip stamped by all 5 to stop Empress from leaving, but she has made up her mind otherwise. Futo comes back to the academy to take his stuff, but Rin and Mary have convinced the headmistress to back out of her decision. Everyone is glad to see Futo back at the academy.